Tell me about a time someone talked about you in another language and you showed them that you understood them in that language. As always, I'll go first. I was in Budapest in some cafe, and me and my American friends, we were laughing, having a good time. They were asking me what things on the menu are. I was telling them, but some dudes up front talking about how we're just stupid American girls. So I didn't say anything. I just casually went up and placed 5 orders in Hungarian in front of them. Tell me about a time someone talked about you in another language and you showed them that you understood them in that language.
One time I was in a public bathroom in New York City, and this Vietnamese mom and her daughter were in the bathroom, and she looks at me and washes her hands and goes, "Cái nhỏ này xấu quá ha." Didn't think that I was Vietnamese. It translates to, "Wow, this girl is really ugly, isn't she?" So I literally wash my hands and I look over and I go, "Cái bà này mập quá ha," which means, "Damn, this bitch is fat, isn't she?"
Tell me about a time someone talked about you in another language and you showed them that you understood them in that language.
So, at the Korean nursery school I worked at, I taught my kids in English. Yes, I can speak Korean. I've been studying it for 4 years, but I was there as an English teacher. But the power move of the century is that I can understand everything they're saying. One time my kids were playing like a cops and robbers type situation, and obviously I had to be the villain. They'd run around and chase me, and then eventually I would just go, "You guys caught me." So they'd catch me, but then all of a sudden one of my kids, Alvin, just goes, "선생님, 왜 이렇게 너무 약해요? 이건 너무 쉬운데." All of a sudden, it just became a group thing. All my kids were like, "맞아, 이거 너무 재미없어. 그래, 우리 다른 게임 하자. 라일락 선생님 훨씬 더 센데." The English teacher in me is not supposed to understand what they're saying, but I'm a little bit offended. Game on, you 3-year-old. So then all of a sudden, I'd just be like, "선생님 약한다고? 다시 하자." And then my kids obviously would just be like, "한국말 어떻게 이해했는데? 우리 망했다." I'll show them.
Tell me about a time someone talked about you in another language and you showed them that you understood them in that language.
I've been waiting to tell this story. Oh my god. So, I was in a shop with my friends one day. I'm bilingual, so I speak Farsi and I speak English. By the way, Farsi is the language of Iran. So, I was waiting in the queue to buy my stuff, and there was these 2 Iranian women behind me, and then I heard them say, "وای چقدر این جلویی مثل خرس میمونه." Which translates in English, "Wow, this girl in the front looks like a bear." I legit turned around and said this. تو دماغت مثل سوراخ کون منه. Which literally translates to, "Your nose looks like my arsehole." I told her, bitch. They were legit so shocked. Oh my god, I will never forget it.
Tell me about a time someone talked about you in another language and you showed them that you understood.
I have to participate in this. In spite of having a bad hair day, I was born and partially raised in Tokyo, Japan, and Japanese was my first language. I forgot a lot when I moved to the States during my childhood, but I have since been studying to become fluent again, and I've always known enough to get around and to understand what people are saying for the most part. When I was 16, I had a boyfriend who got me a book on Japanese dirty words, and I showed it to my parents, and they confirmed that it was accurate, so I memorized that thing cover to cover. And since then, every time I go back to Tokyo and I hear people talking about me inappropriately, usually it's about my height, my body. I'm a 5'11" blonde in Japan, you can imagine. And I just like to wait till they're done, and then I turn around and give them the look and greet them in Japanese, and they are scared shitless.